And gentlemen, to tonight for CRL. This is the B stream. I'm Squid, joined by Haunted, and oh boy, it's spooky season. I love the atmosphere, but we've got a wonderful night of Rocket League coming your way. Haunted, how are you doing?
I'm wonderful. I can't wait to get into all of the action that we have, and yeah, I mean it's October, right? It's Halloween season, and so far in the CRL, all of the play has been very scary. I mean, these teams are certainly scary, and I can't wait to watch. Our first matchup, Akron and Michigan, is going to be a banger.
It absolutely is, and you're talking about scary matchups, and this is going to be one of them. Michigan going up against the undefeated Akron, who have only dropped one single game. Not one series, one singular game. So definitely a monumental task for Michigan to come up against this, but if they can pull it off, they're going to advance their record to 6-2, contending with some of the other teams who are currently vying for second place, which would be a major benefit to them.
Yeah, absolutely. This is almost a must-win for Michigan to prove that they can hang with the top-level competition here in the East. GVSU has had a wonderful season so far. Michigan wants to keep up. And I like a little tidbit of information from Akron. They lost, like you said, only one game so far this season. It came at the hands of Rutgers in game number 1 for them. It was actually the first game of the series. They dropped that game, and they haven't lost since, and we'll see if Michigan can hand them their first loss.
Yeah, it's a pretty convincing bid there from the Akron players, and they've certainly looked fantastic throughout this season. So Michigan are going to have that tall order in front of them. However, they have proven to be a rather strong roster. And I have to say, a lot of the teams around where I am have been looking a lot stronger recently. You mentioned GVSU with their pickup of Yerps and Dangles. Had a huge power boost with those two players coming onto the team. Even Akron with Tristan coming on as well as their third. He has been looking phenomenal throughout the season so far. And, you know, it's shown. But Michigan, you know, they got the potential, and I'm excited to see if they can actually bring it to the table. It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, and Michigan's kind of in those sections of teams that they had a lot of good past results, and they need to step it up here a little bit in the CRL. You know, Waterloo is another one of those teams. I think they're 7-7 on the season. Had a bit of a rough time. They weren't able to adjust the way that they needed to play against some of the newer teams like Grand Valley State, and you know, it's hurt them so far, but Michigan's not out of it, right? They have so many games left to play, and if they can at least push Akron into the later games, Game 4, Game 5, I think that's a victory for them, even if they don't take the series.
Yeah, and I think we got the game ready to go, so we're excited. The breakdown can wait for later. We got the players all here and ready to move in onto the field. Haunted, I gotta make sure we get that one right. Do you have a prediction for this matchup? Who do you think is going to take it?
It's hard to bet against Akron. I want to say in my heart 3-1, but you know I think 3-0 is probably what we're going to see.
All right, well, let's get this one underway. I can't really argue that one either. Akron going to be represented on the orange side and Michigan in the blue. And Michigan already starting out strong with a pass opportunity. Clavin, unfortunately, couldn't get around that ball. Be tossed up high. We'll have to see if they can keep this offense up right off the bat. Buddha with that pass to Clavin going to go a little bit wayward and they'll have to chase it into the corner. Play from Buzz out to Tristan. 50-50 met by Shawnee Boy. Pops up a little bit too high. Things getting out of control here. Or Zips couldn't hang on to that ball, and Michigan good at trying to drive it down the field, but to no avail.
Hey, you mentioned that it is getting a little dicey early on for Akron, and Michigan's really starting to push that pace in the offensive zone. I wouldn't be surprised if we see them with an early opportunity.
Certainly not. Now Clavin to Shawnee Boy. Good doink opportunity, but just wasn't on target. Now one demo. Tristan has nobody to beat, and it's going to be a completely open net. The Zips take the lead.
That was a beautiful play by Tristan. A wonderful catch. Draws out Buddha, who can't quite get the touch. And we talked about it. Akron didn't look too sturdy, but a solid solo effort from Tristan. They get the first goal of the game, and now I expect the onslaught to begin.
Honestly, you know, we've seen Tristan coming out so far this season. He's been an absolute placeholder. Or sorry, not a placeholder, but a stakeholder for this Akron team because he's been coming out. Yeah, he's a complete placeholder, just you know, there for the rest. But in all reality, he's had his part in both team and solo plays so far. He's been making a huge impact and almost was able to make one there. Reticence for the follow-up, and it will go through. Zips lead with 2.
And Tristan on the pass, he said, "Squid, place hold this." As he puts that towards the net, Shawnee Boy makes a save with Reticence. Solid follow. This is the Akron that we expect to see, right? I mean, just peppering the net with shots, pulling defenders out of position. And they've already got 4 in the game. We're only about about a minute and a half in. But it's looking good so far for Akron. It's just Michigan, they need to work things out on the defensive side of the ball, win these challenges in mid. Unfortunately, Buda doesn't get that touch. And it's Akron. Looks to put the pressure on again once more.
And you mentioned it. They have to solidify on the defensive end, do Michigan. And they have had a couple of footholds on the offense. They're looking to gain another one right here. Shawnee Boy's going to push it up into the corner. Being controlled by Buzz around 1 in 50-50s the second, but losing out on possession. And Michigan's going to try and get an offensive started up, but they haven't had a shot towards the net yet. That's going to be one. Buda there for the follow, but Buzz is able to get it away, keeping that cool head. It looks like they're going to have to retreat for now. This one's going to be high and on target, and Tristan denied by Buda.
Edison's with the follow-up. Solid clear from Clavin. Shawnee Boy looking for the touch. Doesn't get it. Buzz makes a save, but Clavin is there to get the rebound. And Michigan find themselves on the board now. Took 3 shots, but it's 2-1.
And a good effort there. Shawnee Boy going up for that. Didn't get the redirect, but still made the defender think. Leaves it completely open for Clavin. Tristan trying to cut in on that one. Just didn't have the time to react. 2:51 on the clock, and there's still a lot of time for Michigan to make something out of this.
Yeah, certainly not out of the game, not anywhere close. The fact that Akron has only scored 2 goals in some of their opportunities speaks to how Michigan has held on for now. They did find that opportunity to put the ball in the back of the goal. I think it's going to come down to transitional plays for Michigan. We saw them score on the last one. They've got to beat Akron over the top quickly, as they're not going to find a lot of offensive opportunities.
You're talking about the transitional play. They just pulled up a demo and managed to move it downfield rather effectively. Unfortunately, getting pushed out right here. Tristan the pass up to Buzz, back to Tristan off the back wall. It could turn dangerous. Clavin with no touch and reticence for the turn in. Can't quite make anything out of it though. And Buda will send it safely away. That second touch will get him a bit of a reset opportunity, but it's coming right back. Reticence taking the pass, and that is a banger from the other side. Tristan on the assist.
I mean, you said it. It's a wonderful shot by Reticence, but it's a bit of a misplay on the other end by Buda. He had the first man beat. I believe it was Buzz was going up way late, and Buda just hit it right into Tristan, who makes the pass over to Reticence. And that one finds its way in. It's 3-1 with 2 minutes to go.
It was a great punish by Akron as well. You saw that Buda, you mentioned, he was trying to get that ball downfield, didn't necessarily make the right play. He was just trying to get a reset for the U of M players. And Zips were able to punish incredibly hard. Now Reticence a great 50-50 with the first player. Tristan coming in for the follow-up, but it's a little bit slow. Now the Zips getting pushed back to the midfield line, but they're not done yet. A big banger into the corner. Buda's going to try for the pickup. Onto the back wall once again. Clavin can't make contact, but Shawnee Boy will get it away, and it looks like Michigan are on their last legs on this defense. Buzz the drop down, but Buda is there. Reticence wisely playing a safe third man at the midfield line. It's about 75 seconds left, and the Zips maintain their 2-goal lead, almost getting a third, but Shawnee Boy is there for the save. A bit of a double commit. And the U of M scrambling on defense, but they managed to keep it away. Clavin over the top of one, almost gets the follow-up, but can't put it away. And Michigan could desperately have used that goal. Another opportunity. Buda gets blocked out by Buzz, who earns a Savior medal. Incredible defensive effort for the Zips here as they attempt to maintain their lead. And now they're going to try and move it downfield just to get some sort of pressure on the opposing defense.
It is interesting. We talked about the transitional plays. Reticence has been so good for Akron, finding the shot opportunities. Even creates this one for Buzz. Good play by Buda to clear. But it has been the Reticence show, I think, so far for the Zips, and he's put them up by 2 goals. They've got to hold on for the next 28 seconds. A good demo on the backside. That's a good shot from Shawnee. Good save from Reticence. But Akron, they look to secure game 1, and Michigan can't quite crack the defense yet.
And they've got a little bit of time, but a huge bump against Shawnee Boy there. Not going to help. Buda trying to recenter this one, but Tristan with that massive clear away. Looks like that might do it. I mean, Michigan would need a miracle at this point. That demo gonna seal the deal, and the Zips are going to be taking game number 1. Not necessarily the dominant fashion that some might have come to expect, though. It was definitely light for the U of M Wolverines there.
And again, I think it comes down to how they play in transition. We saw them score their first goal on a quick play that developed out of thin air, it felt like. but they need to continue to do that. They need to force Akron to play defensively, make sure that they have somebody back at all times, because when Akron gets into that flow on the offensive side of the ball, there's really nothing that Michigan can do to stop it from going in. But again, I think Reticence, he had 2 goals in that game, only 6 shots. I think he was the catalyst. He was the guy in the positions to get those passes. Michigan's got to cut them off early.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, Akron, they were a deadly force in the passing game in the last season. And now with Tristan on the field, as I mentioned, he's giving them that little bit of extra speed, and it allows them to move forward with basically as much force as they want. And with Reticence being always available to receive the pass and put it on target, it makes for a deadly combination. So you're absolutely right. Michigan need to respect that. And although you have a couple of people on the back line, if you're not cutting off those passes in the midfield, you're going to get punished for it. But let's see how they can do in game number 2 coming up. They still got plenty of opportunity to make changes, and they put on a decent couple of shots themselves. They haunted. So I think this is going to be a good match for the rest of the series. Let's see if they can take one more game off of Akron to add to that one that the Zips have lost so far this season.
Yeah, it looks like game number 2 getting ready to go. Yeah, and I do want to take a moment that if you are enjoying the Rocket League action, make sure you tweet at us using the hashtag CRL19. We'll be showing them on stream throughout the stream. So if you want to see your tweet on the College Cardball channel, make sure, again, to use the hashtag CRL19. But game number 2 underway now, Akron and Michigan. We are not quite underway yet, Squid. Almost underway. Had a little bit of a server malfunction, but we'll be getting underway soon.
Yeah, it's the unfortunate truth. Happens sometimes, but either way, you know, it's gonna be a match for the ages. So again, use hashtag CRL19 if you're excited for the action. We're gonna be live for 4 games tonight, 2 from the East, 2 from the West. We'll be getting game number 2 here in just a second. But for Michigan, I have to say, I'm very excited to see if they can do some damage here, because I've always been of the opinion that a team that loses the first game has all the more opportunity to adapt to their opponents. It's a theme that I've seen a couple of times throughout Rocket League so far. So it's going to be a real toss-up, because Akron, strong team. They've only dropped 1 game all season so far, but we've seen some very strong play out of Michigan. They're sitting at 5-2 for their series record right now, so there's definitely some damage that could be done.
Yeah, and they've beat teams that are at the top of the standings in the East. I mean, GVSU comes to mind, the team that's been a standout kind of newcomer to the league. One of their only losses came at the hands of Michigan. So it's certainly proven, especially in seasons prior, that they can beat just about anybody. But this Akron team, they look so good. I mean, there's a reason why they haven't dropped a game since game number 1. It's because they play with such aggression, such speed, that it's so hard for these teams to keep up in Michigan. They haven't proven it to me yet. We'll see if they change that in game 2.
Yeah, and they have those big names on their side as well, though. I mean, for the Zips, Reticence, Buzz, and Tristan, everybody knows these players, but Buddha, Clavin, and Shawnee Boy all have accolades of their own. Still plenty of potential here as we get into game number 2, 5 fresh minutes, and the players all set. It's going to be Clavin versus Buzz on the face-off, and neither Buddha nor Reticence gets the first piece of it afterwards. Little sail into the Akron corner. Clavin tossing that one up high, going to be deflected by Buzz, destined for Tristan. It's off a little bit, but a good transition downfield as they look to set up the first offense of the game.
That they do. We'll see what they can muster. There's a good clear by Clavin. One falls down for Buzz to try to boom away. Good keep in by Buddha. Shawnee Boy has a touch, but he can't quite get around it. Reticence has to make an early save. Michigan trying to generate some offense. Buzz will at least get it out of the zone for now. Buddha trying to challenge him there. There's Shawnee Boy around the sidewall. What can Reticence do on the attack? Not a whole lot. Not really surprising. Both teams really still in that feeling out period. Nobody wants to make that first mistake in game 2.
Absolutely not. It does look like the Wolverines have at least changed their gameplay a little bit to be more midfield-oriented. Bit of a bump there from Reticence. We'll send that ball flying. No follow-up by Shawnee Boy. And it's moving down the other way, but it really seems that the midfield presence for the University of Michigan has drastically improved since last game. But here's a pass, Reticence, or sorry, the late Tristan. Going to be passing up to Buzz. It's a completely open net here. Buddha taken out of the play physically, and Reticence has no trouble.
Buzz didn't quite get the touch that he was looking for, but Clavin helps him out. And Reticence Just knocking home the defensive blunder from Michigan. Not the way they want to start this game. That was just the first shot from Akron, and it goes in. It's a free one for Reticence. We'll see if Michigan can respond. You don't want to go down too heavily against this Akron team.
Absolutely not. But if there's one thing that they can take solace in, it's at least it was their own mistake that caused the goal, and not just necessarily being completely outplayed by Akron. So a little bit of peace of mind there. At least they were scored on their own terms, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So they still have plenty of chance here, with over 3 minutes remaining. A good possession here for Akron, cut off by Clavin. Bo's going to try and get a piece, and unable to get it away from Shawnee Boy. Tristan, upfield. Nobody interrupting the pass till very late. Clavin taking out the last man. Could have turned beautiful, but Tristan going to shut down that play before Clavin can cut rotation.
Yeah, looked like Clavin had a bit of a misfortunate play. He was looking for the second demo. That is not good from Buddha. That goes in the back of the net. Akron gets 2 free goals to start this game, Squid. This is not the Michigan we're used to seeing.
And honestly, for Akron, I don't think it's what they're used to seeing either. They're used to having to, use skillful plays in order to put goals through, but I'm sure that they're happy to take what they can get here either way. You make a fantastic point. This is not the Michigan we're used to seeing. Buddha in the neutral, just not making the touch, is very uncharacteristic of any of the players on the field at present.
At such a high level of play, you expect everybody to make those kinds of touches, and the mistakes, they get amplified as Buzz takes a quick shot. Good save by Buddha. Rebound goes into the corner where Tristan tries to play. Reticence is there. Hits it right into Shawnee Boy. Rebound to Buzz. Good save by Clavin one more time towards the net. Buzz eventually gets credit for the goal, but it was Reticence to put it in the box. It's 3-0 for Akron.
And the double commit here is key. Clavin and Shawnee Boy both going for that one, and you're going to get scored on every single time you go for that kind of play against the Zips. So now a 3-goal lead. They've got to be feeling pretty confident about their chances here. And for Michigan, it's been a couple of mistakes on your own end. I'm just struggling to envision how they can get past this mental block.
Well, they need to do it soon. Certainly with 2 minutes and some change left. That needs to go in from Buddha. He goes high with the shot. If Clavin can't quite find it, it has just been a game of mistakes for Michigan. As much as I hate to say it, you've got to pick on those mistakes. This game should be tied up at 1 if those mistakes don't happen from Michigan. And we find ourselves 3-0 in favor of Akron with just about 1:40 to go. And again, if you are just joining us, Akron has not lost a game, a map of Rocket League in about 10 matches. And if you're going to go down to a team like Akron 2-0 in the series early on, I don't like your chances.
Yeah, and I mean, it must have been incredibly difficult to even muster up the courage to make this a fight, even game number 1. So now it's very disheartening, at least for me, to see this happen. A great pass here from Tristan, gonna be touched away. And it looks like they're finally getting their defense together, but so far the Zips have had total control of their own backfield as well as the midfield here in game 2. And even with the mistakes, it's no wonder why the Zips are on top here in this match.
Yeah, certainly. Like I said, the speed, the rotations, and really we haven't talked about it much, but they are absolutely controlling the boost game. It's something that you see a lot of great teams do, making sure they win those mid challenges and grab the mid boost as much as possible. And if you watch the Zips rotation, they prioritize that mid boost. You make a challenge in mid, and then you immediately go look for boost either on your enemy's end or in mid. And it leaves Michigan with just about nothing in the tank to defend. It's not something that is easily noticeable, but it makes such a huge difference.
Well and truly, and as the clock ticks down here, seems that difference is heavily favored Akron. And again, we gotta point out that all 3 of the goals against, granted the third maybe a little bit less, but all 3 of them have been fundamental errors on the Wolverines side. So Zips walking away with what is essentially a completely free game in this series.
Yeah, well, you got to put that behind you if you're Michigan. It's on to game 3 now. Game 2 is just a distant memory at this point. You've got to win the next 3 against an Akron team who has been allergic to losing so far this season. You've got to find a way to break that defense, and it starts again in mid. You've got to win those challenges. Akron has been all over the ball when it comes through that neutral zone. There's no time and space for Michigan, and you either need to create that using demos or winning challenges, and they haven't done either thing.
Yeah, and we've actually seen the Zips utilize a couple of demos here and there, and even countering when the Wolverines were trying to make any sort of use of the demos. So Michigan getting shut down even when they are going for the physical play. So it's even more difficult to find those gaps. But I think the number one key here is that the Zips have had almost no pressure to score, because I don't think they've ever been trailing so far in these two games. So it can be a lot easier to shut down your opponents when, for one, you are controlling the midfield and your own backfield, but for two, you don't have to push downfield. You don't have to commit that third man at any point in time. You don't have to put together a risky passing play. All of it stacks. So for Michigan, they got to make something happen early on here, or it's going to be curtains.
Yeah, I think you make a great point in that they need to make something happen early. You can't be playing from behind, especially when you're already down 2 games. They were close to scoring first in game 1. They weren't able to do it, and it was a sneaky goal from Tristan. But playing from behind is so difficult. I would really love to see Michigan find the back of the net first, really try to utilize that advantage to at least pull a game.
As do I.
Four minutes, 40 seconds left. Here comes Tristan. Got a fake Buddha there. Can't quite get that one to work. Buzz deep in the corner. Now Shawnee Boy around. Buddha the play down. Shawnee. Slight touch into the corner. Tristan not the greatest clear, but Reticence will get up to it. Puts it towards net. David has to go up and make an easy save, but this could cause some offense. Buzz does get it around Buddha. And once again, Akron find themselves in the lead, not even a minute in.
Great play by Tristan, just cutting off that defensive clear in all aspects, and then Buzz doing the same, the 50-50, pushing into the net. We've got to talk about those demos. I mean, it started early on, and it trailed all the way leading up to that goal. We saw a couple of physical plays taking U of M players off the field. And it seems that Akron have their sights set on the victory already.
Well, Shawnee Boy, he'll put that in the back of the net. A little bit of a mix-up from the Zips there, and finally the Wolverines on the board. But really, Squid, being down 2 games in the series, they've got to bring out those Wolverine claws.
Yeah, they do, and I don't think they can really let that go to their head, though. Getting that 1 goal back, it was a clear mistake on the defensive side for Akron. 2 players in position to make that play happen, so definitely try and take the momentum and push it forward, but do not let that go to your head. Don't get red vision and try and just throw everything downfield, because they are already on the defense. First, only barely losing that 50-50 to send it away out into the corner.
This is an important defense, too. They need to make this stop. Cannot let Akron get back ahead in this game. They're still on the defensive side. Decent touch from Clavin. He's going to try to control. Gets by Reticence. If he can get past Buzz, but he can't quite do it. Shawnee ends up bumping Buzz and does get back to the ball, but this will be a clear back for Reticence. Clavin through the neutral zone. Still possession maintained by Akron. Tristan's up for it. Down towards Reticence. Shawnee makes the play, but the ball's still dangerous out in front. Reticence will score. And just like that, Akron back on top. And it all stems from those mid-challenges.
Yeah, I mean, I have to wonder where in the world was the last man here for Michigan. You saw 2 of them commit at the beginning of the replay there, but the third never came into the frame. I don't recall if there was a demo punted. Yeah, anything for me?
It didn't look like a demo. It looked like a bit of some overzealous offensive opportunities for Michigan. They really tried to push down the field, and a couple players got caught.
And that's what I was touching base on. I didn't want to see that happen to them. Unfortunately, that is the case. This clear from Tristan could result in the U of M offense. Clavin, the one playing up to the ball, tries to move it out to the center, but it's a little bit weak. And Tristan has no trouble getting it away past one more. Shawnee Boy's the only one to beat, but he's got no boost left. And he touched out to the corner by the blue defense.
Here's a transition play. Can Shawnee do something with this? Almost had the double touch. Buddha lightly towards the net. It was wide, but Reticence makes the clear. Tristan will clear it all the way back down into the blue zone. So Michigan, they've kept it close. We've just crossed the halfway point, and it's only a 1-goal game in favor of Akron. This could be dangerous, though. It's a 2-on-1 the other way. Clavin gets to the ball first, and he will turn to make the clear. Solid defensive play from Clavin. Good reaction time to get back.
A great boost pickup as well. Something that was very important for that play. Would never have been able to transition this downfield, and they wouldn't be on the offense right now if he hadn't been able to get that boost. Great presence of mind.
Ooh, Buddha
though.
Not in a good position. Forces Shawnee Boy to go up and make the play. Looks like he was a bit uncomfortable along that sidewall was Buddha, but they do manage to fend off the Zips for now, and they look to play offense. Shawnee Boy can't quite get a touch, so Puzzle cleared away. Buddha down in front. There's Clavin, just wide. Had a chance at tying us back up. Shawnee Boy actually throws it towards the net. That goes in. Somehow the broken play works out for Michigan, and we're tied at 2.
And Clavin has a second chance. You mentioned how his first one went wide there, but it actually was probably a wise play. If he had put that shot on target, it would have been cleared by a Zips defender, and they would have lost their possession. So you have to give respect where respect is due. Playing for the long game, even though he didn't necessarily know that his teammate would be able to pick up on that. So big props to Clavin. Helping tie this game up. Now the Zips on offense once again. Buzz up to reticence. Very blocked out by Shawnee Boy. Incredible defense, the tenacity showing. As Michigan are on their last legs if they can't pull out a game win here with 70 seconds left of regulation.
Buddha just looks so out of place right now. He's committing to things that he shouldn't be committing to, not getting the touches he needs. He really needs to step it up, especially with only a minute left. They do make the save on the goal line. Beautiful touch from Shawnee Boy. Saves the game for now, but with 50 seconds to go, the next goal is everything.
What a great possession. It's on the center. It
All
actually
right,
pitches into the goal. Okay. All right, Hunted. You know what? Out of position. Okay, out of position. This.
Oh my goodness. Well, hey, at least it was like a caster's curse in a positive way.
Sure. Sure. I'll grant you that.
Well, either way, it's 3-2 now for Michigan. 45 seconds to go. This is game number 3. Michigan down 0-2 in the series. They need to win this one to force a game number 4. There's Clavin, the pop-up. Shawnee Boy keeps it in the zone. Gets a second touch down towards Buddha. Final 30. Reticence tries to clear. Clavin gets a strong touch towards the front of the goal. Bounces down in front. Tristan ends up making it clear, but that was all 3 Akron players utilized to make that play. Still, somehow they find the full clear. With only 15 seconds to go, Squid, this could be it for Michigan.
This could be it. Final 10 now. Buzz the only man back for Akron. Shawnee was going to cut that one off before it can go anywhere. And they're looking to give Akron the second game loss of their entire season, but the ball drops down to the ground. No catch comes through. U of M managed to do it. Akron have now doubled the number of games they've lost this season, and yet they still lead in this particular series.
That they do, and it was a well-played game all the way around from Michigan. Again, I still feel like Buddha just looks a little nervous. I'm not sure, maybe just not confident in himself in this series. Did get the game-winning goal, though. You cannot take that away from him. It was a wonderful challenge to find the ball into the back of the net for that third goal. I just need to see him step up a little bit more. Obviously, Michigan can prove they can beat Akron, but if they can work as a team, really get everybody going, everyone on the same page, it's not over yet. We've got 2 more games left to play. I think they can do it.
Yeah, I mean, with putting up such marks as I'm looking at the scoreboard right now, in totaling 10 saves between all of the blue team. I mean, you got to say that's pretty impressive. They are coming together on the defense when it counts. Unfortunately, Akron was still able to put up 2 goals against, but you can tell things are starting to come together. So hopefully they can push this momentum forward to see if they can almost force a Game 5 situation. Definitely not out of the question, but I have to say Akron still looked pretty well in control of that game until the second goal was scored for U of M.
Yeah, that's the really concerning part. Although it is Rocket League, right? I mean, control kind of goes back and forth at times, but Akron doesn't look out of place. They don't look they didn't look bad in that game. They looked very good, actually, but it was Michigan's will to overcome. You can do that for 1 game, but to do it 3 in a row is going to take quite an effort.
And I'd like to actually cite something that Gibbs said a while back. When RLCS was still with all the big top dog teams, it only takes 10 minutes. Or sorry, I think it was 15 minutes to take down a Titan of good play. So, Michigan have already put up 5 of those. Let's see if they can bring 10 more to the table.
Well, we are underway. Game number 4. Buzz charges down the sideline there. Reticence will keep the ball in. Solid touch from Clavin, but this gives Buzz a chance to pinch it. That gives Clavin all kinds of trouble. This could lead to an opportunity. Buddha just trying to clear it out of the front of the net. Buzz looking for a pass out to Reticence. He does turn on it. Shawnee not enough boost to get there in time. Extended stay in the blue zone from Akron, but there is a solid clear from Buddha. Hopefully they can reset, but it goes to show. Michigan, they gave up early goals in the past 3 games. Didn't do it here. Now they have a chance to get an early lead of their own, although that bump is going to take any thought of that away as Tristan just knocks it home.
And I have to say, every single time I see a Zips player going for a bump, you know that it's going to be impactful. I feel like without fail, every single physical play that they've attempted to make in this series has had some sort of impactful play on the entire, game as a whole. It's been ridiculous. They never go for unnecessary bumps.
That's a big part of playing physical. You have to know when to go for the bumps or the demos. You don't want to overcommit. Although Reticence, man, I don't think he got a touch on that, actually. Tristan almost had that second goal for Akron. But you're absolutely right. They are very keen to go for the bump plays, but they're not over-aggressive with them. As Clavin gets a demo of his own, this opens up some space for Buddha. No follow-up, and Buzz might actually have a chance here. Can Tristan get the double just off at the side of his car? It remains 1-0 for Akron.
And yet that long clear keeps the Zips in the offensive. Oh, that's gonna be one they want back. Team bump, breaking up that passing play and giving possession temporarily to the Zips. Tristan will toss it up the side. We'll have to Buzz up to Tristan. The 1-2-3. That was beautiful.
And you talk about the team bump breaking up the passing play. Michigan needs to bump the enemy team here to break that one up. That is just a wonderful pass. All the way around. All 3 players getting involved. Tristan gets his second of the game. That's all that is needed thus far from Akron. 2-0, 2:50 to go. Akron, they look to seal it. They are upset they lost that last game, and it shows.
We've seen Michigan put up such marks before. We'll have to see if they can do it again. That one past Shawnee Boy there. Rather unfortunate. And Tristan actually earning 2 demos. Reticence now for the shot on target, and he's not going to have any competition except for Tristan. We'll see that goal from him.
1 demo, and then we don't quite see it there. He gets a second on the backside, and that is an easy play. Even gets the goal for good measure. Hat trick for Tristan. Only 2:30 left. 3 goals in the first half. That's a pretty good showing for anybody, Smith.
Oh, yeah, it definitely is. But now it's up to Michigan to score 3 goals in a half of regulation, which is not exactly easy, but they'll get one right here. Buddha taking one off the demo by Clavin.
Man, I really love when we talk about something and the players do it, like, immediately. It's happened twice now. 2 demo plays. This time, it's Michigan who is on the scoring side. So it's 3-1. 21 to go. And again, you need to open up space. The bumps and the demos have done very well. Can Buddha find this touch? Actually, that's a bit of an overcommitment here. Here comes the transition from Akron. Pass to Tristan. Broken up in mid by Clavin. Solid defensive play from him. They're not out of the woods yet. This is a free goal for Buzz. Wide open net, and it's back to a 3-goal lead.
I'm going to see if I can take a look at Tristan's cam here, because I believe he was running some interference on the last man back. I didn't quite get a look at that one, unfortunately, but that's the way it goes sometimes. But I do believe he had a hand in that one. Either way, an open net for the Zips. Not going to help Michigan, who, I mean, I have to say, they had the task of scoring 3 goals and a half, and after... Well, it's not about Michigan. It's about Tristan, picking up his 4th goal of the game.
No, this is the Tristan show in Game 4. As you said, 4 goals. Somehow he has 4 goals on 3 shots. But he set up that goal for Buzz as well. And Tristan just coming through in the clutch when he needed to. And it's really put Michigan on the back foot. It's not over, but it very well could be if Michigan can't get on the offense soon.
Yeah, and again, as I was going to mention just a moment ago, I mean, they were tasked with scoring 3 goals and a half. They started out strong, getting one in 9 seconds, and that shutdown kind of ruined the hopes I'm managing them entirely. There's only 90 seconds now on the clock. I mean, 4 goals of a comeback is pretty difficult. Even I would imagine for the Zips to produce, and U of M will get one back there. Shawnee Boy off the side wall.
Well, I'm interested in what happened to Reticence. He just didn't read it well. That's unfortunate. Shawnee Boy will knock that home, and yeah, we're back to a 3-goal game. It's where Michigan has been throughout this game, and they need to score in the next minute 20 3 times to try to tie this up. Oh, Clavin, I thought he got that home just off the crossbar. Almost a fake flip reset drew out the defense there. The Buzz does eventually find the clear. Coming down to the wire here, Squid. Final 60 seconds to go. Michigan, they've got to show us they have something left in the tank.
And at this point, I mean, I'd be more than happy to see if they do. And here's a pass, boot up to Shawnee Boy to Clavin, and they will put it through. 48 seconds left, and to be honest, I was going to tell you I didn't have much faith, but maybe I'm wrong.
Great pass from Buddha, and Shawnee gets up to it in time. Buzz just in no man's land. But with 48 seconds to go, 2 goals, all that's needed. Certainly a game now.
Indeed it is. A face-off going rather in favor of the Zips, but Shawnee Boy, a great pickup. Sent back to the midfield. Still a chance here. Buddha's going to launch it up, but they lost possession of the ball. They have to win another 50. This one coming off the back wall. Great read by Buzz. A key read as well. Now with 30 seconds on the clock, a huge drive downfield. Looking for a pass. No, a bump. He's unable to do anything.
Clavin out in front. Good clear from Buzz. Buzz has been in all the right positions in these final 30 seconds. Made a goal-saving clear. And the initial attempt from Michigan was in position to make that one as well. And with the final 8 seconds, they need to score 1 with time remaining. Buddha gets the demo. He's looking for the pass out in front. Tristan will kill it into the corner. That is going to do it. Akron maintain their undefeated ways here in the CRL. Michigan will drop to 5-3, but it was not without a little bit of fight. Went to the first 4-game series that Akron has seen in quite a while.
Yeah, and so much effort there out of Michigan, especially in this game when they were down 1-5. And honestly, I had lost almost all hope that they were going to have a chance back into this game. They put up those 2 marks, and they still had just a little under a minute left. I would not have been surprised if they had made that comeback happen. So incredible effort from them all around. And you could tell the tenacity was there until the bitter end. Well, they will fall here in the end. And it seems like Akron, they're just going to continue on, and they've all but clinched a playoff spot at this point with their record, I believe, being 9-0 now. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's either 8-0 or 9-0, I believe. And yeah, you're right. I mean, it would have to be almost a colossal blow up at the end of the season for Akron to not make the playoffs, and they should certainly be the favorite in the East going in, and potentially one of the favorites in the whole event. I mean, to win the national championship, Akron has looked very, very good. They haven't come across anybody who has given them real pause. Michigan, they took a game, and for them that should be considered a victory. But this Akron team, so very scary, and I really can't wait. I really do hope they make it to the national championship, because I want to see how they line up against the teams in the West. Oh,
yeah, absolutely. And I was talking about they picked up Tristan, rank A player, replacing, I believe it was Salty Popsicle on the roster.
Yes.
So, they lost a good player, but they gained a great player as well. So you can't leave him out of that. He has shown his worth time and again, especially in that last game, giving his team the hand up that they really needed to close it out. But unfortunately, that's going to be the end of that series. Once again, Akron with a phenomenal showing, and they are moving strongly into the latter half of the season. We got more Rocket League action coming up for you, and we got 2 matches from the West in match 2 and 3, and then the next match will be out of the East, so excited to see that. And in the West, where LSU is currently dominating by all means, I have to say.
Yeah, and I think we are going to go ahead and take a very short break. When we come back from that, we will get into more Rocket League action. While we do take a break, make sure to tweet at us using the hashtag CRL19. We will be showing them on stream very, very soon. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a minute.
All